Only touch greatness.
Hey, it's Carter Hutton here, NHL goalie, and coming up on the episode of I Only Touch Greatness.
Do you have a favorite story about Vancouver? And not the Roxy, just like a game you played?
Well, I in Vancouver, I always love Johnny. He works the visiting room. I don't know if you ever heard about Johnny. He's like a legendary guy. He always brings like beef jerky for the boys after, and he would always bring me my 50-50 tickets when I wasn't playing. So I'd be on the bench, and I'd always buy 50-50 tickets whenever I was in Canada. So he always thought it was fucking hilarious because I'd be on the bench and I'd have my 50-50 ticket stuck in my blocker. And the trainer, I'd always split with the trainers. Like, so I'd buy them. And then the deal was if I won, the trainers would get, because it'd always be like 100, 200 grand. Like, it was huge.
Yeah.
So he'd always scurry out there during the second or third period with my big, long, like arm's length full of 50-50 tickets. And I'd be on the bench and he'd be looking at me like, hey, did we win? Did we win? So I got a chance. We played in Vancouver last year, my last season with Arizona. I got a chance to see those guys. And those are kind of the relationships behind the scenes that you like really, love, right? It's kind of one of those things that like the stuff that fans don't see. As for the rink, I love playing in Vancouver. I had a lot of big games there. I won a lot of big games. And I think at one point in my career, I was 2-0 and against the Loungo in Vancouver. And I actually have a good Loungo story. I was playing.
Hey, let's hear it.
Yeah, Lou is a great guy. I never really got to know him that well outside of just playing against him. And so they'd always bring popcorn to the room in Vancouver. In Vancouver visiting room, they have a bunch of popcorn. And then Johnny, the visiting guy, or the guy who works the room, has a giant container with like all different flavors. Like this, and I love that salt and vinegar spread you put on popcorn. So I'd always be in there, and he knew that, right? Like he remembered everything. He'd give it to me. And so he'd bring me extra popcorn from the Longos, because I guess the Loungo, when he didn't play, ate popcorn. So now this is years later, and I'm playing in Buffalo, and Luongo's in Florida, and the trainer that works the room in Florida, I'm like, hey, give me some fucking popcorn. He's like, hey, I'll take some. So he brings me this giant bag, and I'm eating the popcorn. I come back after the second period, the popcorn's gone. And I'm like, the guy nicknames Train. I'm like, Train, where is the popcorn? Like, he had one job, man. He's like, Luongo told me to take it back. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, why does he want it, right? So whatever, game goes on, game ends. Next game we're playing like 3 weeks later in Buffalo. Luongo's starting. I'm not even starting. I'm at the red line stretching. He skates over and like stops right in front of me and bends over and just goes, don't ever touch my fucking popcorn again. And then just starts skating away, laughing. So I thought that was always really good. Like, just the funny things that go on behind the scenes, right? They think that everything's so serious, and we're just boys being boys.
He's an absolute beauty, Luongo. He got the short end of the stick in Vancouver. Even though he set records, he might be the best goalie of all time on our team. I'm a season ticket holder to the Canucks, so I take this shit serious.
Yeah.
But, he got the short end of the stick. I wish they never traded him away when you look back on it.
I know he's a hell of a goalie, right? It's hard to argue with what he's done. And, he was just like one of those guys that like I always respected because he was always so good, right? Like, he was obviously a big prospect. It was kind of like Pekka Rinne to me, but they just always put the work in. Like, he was one of those guys that every time he went to the rink, like Luongo would be on the ice first, last one off, like just doing his like, he took a lot of pride in his craft, right? You look at it and, he's an amazing goalie. And, one of those guys that, I don't know. Yeah, he got a tough deal there, man. But that's a hard fan base, man. They don't mess around.
Yeah, we also got a shitty owner.
Yeah. I don't know enough about that. So I
know. I've been throwing shots all week at the owner just because he refuses to let us rebuild.
Oh, really?
Let us rebuild. We were in the Chicago spot, and we were tanking. We were doing shitty. And you go and replace the coach, and now we get on a 15-game winning streak or whatever the streak might be. And now we totally lost a Bedard sweepstake.
Yeah, well, I didn't understand. You trade Bo Horvat, right?
And then go on a winning streak.
And then why do you go and get that defenseman from Detroit and pay him? Like, you traded like.
Shit. I texted I messaged my ticket rep, and I told him, I'm like, you lost me as a fan when you traded that potential first round pick or first overall pick next year and you've gone and traded that pick away for a guy that had a shoulder injury. He's not even going to finish the season anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Sometimes I would love to know what goes on in those guys cutting deals.
I know.
I never know. Like, that's how big. It's got to be an interesting job being a GM. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
Since you're roughly the same age as me, do you remember your first CD?
My first CD was Green Day Dookie.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and Offspring Smash. I don't know which one was first, but those were my first two. Like, I saw Offspring actually a few years ago. They were playing in St. Catharines. We were living in Buffalo. It was Sum 41 on the Offspring, and me and my couple of people, we went to it. Man, I had a good time. I was like, this is like, I'm like just this little kid in my basement listening to the Offspring.
Yeah, we all remember that Dookie CD for sure, though.
Oh yeah, Green Day, man.
The Green Day one. What is your personal highlight?
I think like I don't know. It's hard to say just one. Looking back on my career, I think having those franchise records are pretty cool. Something that I get to carry with me, right? Having the most saves in a shutout for two teams that are like been around a long time. And other than that, I think my first year in Nashville when I won 20 games, that was kind of a pretty cool milestone. I was really hoping to get to 100 wins. I got to like 90 or something, 90 something. But other than that, just proud of all the stuff that I did now looking back on it. And just, I think the people that like helped me, and supported me throughout it.
You were nominated for a Bill Masters, I believe.
I was, yes. I think a couple times, actually. I think I had 1 year in Nashville, 1 year in St. Louis. I was nominated. So that's obviously a pretty cool honor, right? And that was just me being me, too. I don't think I was doing anything over and above, but I think that's just like that when I talk about that character of being – I tried to be as low maintenance as possible. I think I have a lot of friends that are tradesmen, that are banging nails when it's minus 30 out, that are my dad going to work, I kind of kept that in the forefront for me when, if I was having a bad day, we're human too, right? Like, I don't want to act like I didn't have bad days or nothing, but I always tried to keep that in perspective. Like, man, things could be worse. I got a good deal. And I found a way to like keep my mind strong. And I think it helped me, through, the grind of a season for sure.
I'm going to shoot a couple quick questions for you. Well, before we wrap this up here, I asked these ones to the young kids, all the prospects and stuff. So they might sound a little kiddish for you, but if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Lion.
Okay. I always go with a dolphin because I look like a dolphin. I got no hair and a beak on me. Like, if you your favorite sports franchise, you did answer earlier.
Blue Jays.
Okay. What was your favorite Halloween costume ever?
Oh. Favorite Halloween costume ever. I went as I don't know. I want to say it's Steve Bartman. The guy that caught the ball.
Of course, the guy that caught the ball.
I went as Steve Bartman. We did a Halloween party in New York City when I was on the Blues, and I went as Steve Bartman, and I had like the headphones on and the hat and the turtleneck. It was actually, and Jake Allen went as Rick Vaughn from Major League Wild Thing. So we had the two go, and we didn't even know we were going as that. So that was probably my favorite one I went as.
Favorite actor or actress?
I like Edward Norton.
Great one. You know what a Canadian tuxedo is?
I do. Jean jacket, jeans pants.
Okay, you'd be surprised how many kids don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not that young.
Yeah, I know. We're the same age.
I'm probably even older. Growing up in Thunder Bay.
I know, right? Yeah, you guys get shittier weather than we do. Deep sea or outer space?
Ooh, jeez. Deep sea.
If throughout the years they do rookie initiation here and there, or you were just out with the boys having fun, if you had the $1,000 prize on the line and you had to sing one karaoke song, what song do you sing?
Love Shack.
Oh, okay.
That was too easy.
Yeah, okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cat or dog?
Dog all day.
I know, right? Who doesn't? If you could only eat pancakes or waffles for the rest of your life,
Pancakes.
are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Hey, Friends or Seinfeld?
Seinfeld. My wife's gonna kill me though. She
I
loves
know,
Friends.
shit, eh? Comedy or drama movie?
Drama.
Hey, Halloween or 4th of July?
Halloween. I'm Canadian.
Yes, of course. Oh, I don't know if I can ask that. We can edit this one out. Big booty or big breasts?
Big breasts.
Okay. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Fly.
I would always like to know what my date was thinking before she just stood up and walked away and left me behind. So if I can read her mind before, so I knew what I said. If you were a flavor, what flavor would you be?
Oh, chocolate, because that's my favorite flavor.
Hey, okay, I think I'm mint.
Yeah, mint. Mint, dude.
Yeah, okay. What do you want your legacy to be known as? Last question.
I think that's a good question. That's a tough one. I think a good father more than anything, a good family man, a hard worker, someone led by example, a leader. And I think being humble. When I think people look back at me, I always felt myself as like approachable. I've never thought I was better than anybody. And I think that's important. I just think I got to do something cool for a long time.